Hey, true believers, Englentine here. I want to talk about what's been going on. It's being brought up again. Truth, justice, the American way. Or if you watch Superman Returns, truth, justice, and all that stuff. And now, of course, truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Now, I don't know exactly what sparked this off again. Why are we going through the whole should Superman say this, should Superman say that thing? But it's back. And we have people arguing, and some are saying, of course, Superman should be for the whole world and not the American way. And in all honesty, we have been basically inundated with writer after writer after writer who doesn't understand exactly what Superman is about, nor, in all honesty, what the American way is all about. And it's a very simple thing. It's a very simple answer. Individuality. The great experiment, by the way, was that we can govern ourselves. That is the American way. When you strip down America to its basics, it should be that you are the one that should govern you. Basically, Superman is for individual freedom. That's the American way. Truth and justice. Unfortunately, truth these days is a little bit different. There is a line in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It goes, if you're seeking truth, philosophy's down the hall, we're talking about fact. And some people, of course, bend it and say, I have my truth, you have your truth, which I do believe is not true. Sorry, but there is the truth. And then what you believe could be something different, doesn't matter. But when it comes to Superman, it's very specific. The American way means everybody individually should have freedom. And you can't say he's all about the world because the whole world has different laws saying what those freedoms are. So let's imagine now Superman is as worldly as DC comic writers even today want to make him out to be. Okay. Well, here in America, I can say that I don't like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's a horrible president. He's destroyed damn near everything, and he's leading us towards nuclear war with the Russians. You go against the government in even someplace like Canada, and they're going to shut you down. We actually saw that. So does Superman, being a worldly being and not someone who is for individual freedoms, the American way, does he go to, if he's in Canada, does he see a whole bunch of cops beating somebody down for saying something bad about the government? And he goes, well, it's Canada. I'm for the world now. Or does he do what Superman would have done for the last 80 years and help that person because that's the American way, individual freedom? And that's one of the things that people get wrong. Absolutely get wrong. Now, also, he is for laws, and he does support the American law. As a matter of fact, so much so in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, he was basically just a weapon that Ronald Reagan used. And granted, Frank Miller back then, I guess, wasn't the greatest of Republicans, but that's his opinion. That's his decision. That being said, yeah, it's okay. You gotta follow a certain set of rules. You got to follow a certain procedure. Even Batman believed in that. Batman's also another misunderstood character, but we'll have to get to him on a different video. Unfortunately, though, especially when you're talking about Twitter and Twidiots, that's what I call them. Basically, it boils down to the well, actually, people. Well, actually, Superman's more for the world. Well, actually, he's an immigrant. No, he isn't. And granted, I get it. I get it. There's like 60 different origins out there. I myself like the John Byrne one. He's coming in. He actually has a birthing matrix, and he pops out of this birthing matrix in Kentucky or Kansas, excuse me. And he's born in America. So it's truth, justice, American way. Some have it where he's already born and he's a little baby. So there's all these different versions of it. And so they had to get his papers so forth and so on. Superman has known nothing but a Kansas upbringing. Superman has known nothing but an American upbringing. If you are writing from the stance that he would be for the world and not for America, you're not understanding the character. You're understanding what the character's like when you read them in comic books, maybe. And that's a huge problem with comic books now. We have people who seemingly had learned to write by reading comics, and they don't read anything else. And more to the point, they put the knowledge that they gained about the characters from comics into the dialogue. So you have things happening. You have people saying things that they would only know if they read comics. And unfortunately, that's what's going on. And that's what goes on with Superman as well. The thing of truth is it would be fact with Superman. You would have to look at things objectively. Is this the truth? Is this the lie? I shall protect you. And that's where justice comes from. A couple of years ago, there was a scene in a comic book where Superman protected a whole bunch of illegal migrants or illegal aliens. And all of a sudden, the people who are for not social justice warriors, basically, to me, it's very racist. I don't like woke because it's very racist, very fascist, because it requires you to think and act a certain way, and usually in a prism of race, which I have been raised not to believe in. So they show this scene, and it's these evil guys. They don't want illegal aliens across the border. So they start firing a machine gun, and Superman saves them. And everybody sends us, aha, we told you Superman would. Yeah, never in doubt, dude. Because that's where the justice comes in. That's where the justice part of the argument comes in here. It's never in doubt that Superman would save anyone, to tell you the truth, which goes back to the American way. Once again, say he's flying over a country that doesn't think gay people should actually be legal. And so they decide to toss one off a building. Now, if he's worldly and he's got to follow the law of each country as he's in them, oh, have a nice fall, dude. You just shouldn't have been gay in this. Now, if you were gay in America, I would save you. But you're not. Now I have to watch you fall. No. The American way steps in, and he will, because it's justice, because every life is precious to him, will save him. I can't fathom that people don't see this. Another thing I see a lot with these twidiots is that they don't understand. We see it, Donald Trump. Let's take Donald Trump. Everybody hates Donald Trump, right? Except for, of course, according to twidiots, the Nazi, racist, homophobes, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So he says America first. But if you listen to the reaction, what people who believe that Superman should be all for the world is, they hear America only. That's ridiculously stupid and racist. And so you can't have that. I'm sorry. If you're going to be of the world, if you're going to go from country to country and acting and reacting to different laws and such as you go into it, first of all, that's a huge burden on Superman to learn all of freaking laws in every country as he's flying through. And in another, it would make it so that he has to accept some horrible, horrible humanitarian crimes that aren't crimes in the countries he's in. And he can't respect freedom of speech in countries that do not have a constitutional freedom of speech. And I don't know if we're unique on that. I know that we're rare on that. We're the first one to give the citizens the freedom of speech. And I know that even places like England and Canada do not have it. They don't have it. And yet, oh, no. Superman should be of the world, not of the American way. And once again, I am sorry. I cannot get past that. It is one thing that people truly get wrong. Justice for everyone. Doesn't matter your political leaning. Doesn't matter your race, your sex. Doesn't matter. Superman will do the right thing always. That's his true superpower. It's another thing that people get wrong. Superman, oh, he's too powerful. He's blah, blah. The thing about Superman is he will do the right thing always. Try doing that. Try doing it for a day, and he does it every time out. and he's got the power of the gods. He's got a power. He is so powerful that he could rule the world, even in DC Comics. Yeah, there's ways around it. And if you give Batman preparation time, he could take him out. But knowing that, why would Superman give him that time? Seriously. And we've seen one of my favorite cartoon battles is Justice League War, where Batman's throwing everything at him and Superman's like, okay, that's cute. And, you know, because basically if Superman wanted to beat the tar out of Batman, there will be no more tar in Batman. That's just the way it's going to be. But Superman doesn't do that. Superman's an American. Superman is a Kansian. Kansian? Kansanite? Kansian. He lives truth, justice in the American way. Truth, fact, justice, everybody. He protects everybody in the American way. Individual freedom. And in all honesty, sometimes, hey, Keely Chow, how you doing? Welcome. I'm 11 minutes in on the rant. I don't know what else I have to say on the subject. I'm going to keep going for a little bit. But this whole thing, Kansan, Rhaegar saying Kansan, this whole thing started because I saw the argument come back. Truth, justice in the American way. No. Superman's for the world. He's not the American way anymore. So you go. If you want a superhero that's all about the American way, don't talk about Superman. Talk about, I guess, this guy. Okay. In my Superman show, a politician comes up with truth, justice in the American way slogan during his campaign, and it happens to stick when he wins. Superman first tries to reason, but then is vocally against slogan. Comes up with a better tomorrow, which is a horrible, horrible, vague, stupid, doesn't mean anything slogan. It's a platitude. That's all. It means nothing. Oh, we can have a better tomorrow. Really? And what does that entail? According to whom is this tomorrow better? Seriously. Once again, I brought up that in some cases and in some countries, being gay is illegal. So if we're making a better tomorrow and we're talking about those countries, would that mean a world without gay people? How about those that hate America? Would that mean a better tomorrow would be a world without America? What about atheists? A world without God? Then that's the problem. That's the one reason. American way, individual freedom. That's what America stands for. Once again, when you strip it all down, we are the great experiment. We are the country that said, you have the right to govern yourselves. And it starts your home, your neighborhood, your city, your county, your state, and then your country. It starts here in your home. Well, not here. I'm not in your home, but you get what I'm saying. Let's see. Superman is what I can do. Clark is who I am. In all honesty, thank you. By the way, Keely, I've heard other people get that wrong too. Clark Kent is who he is. Superman is the mask. Now, Clark Kent at work is also a mask. Wait, how can that be? Can Clark Kent be because when he's at work, when he's showing Lois, he's a bumbling freaking reporter like Christopher Reeve played him. By the way, I said last night, and I'll say it again, Christopher Reeve did not play Superman. Christopher Reeve is Superman. I just believe that in my heart. I know in my head, no, but I know in my heart, yes. But yeah, and that's why I think he did such a great job. Superman on the farm was not Superman at the Daily Planet, who was not Superman or Clark Kent, so forth. And so you get what I'm saying. But he is 100% American. He was raised and in some origins born in Kansas. That's it. He knows nothing else. More to the point, he believes in individual freedom, and that's where it comes from. Let's see. I didn't need any cats. Let's see. How about this? Communism now, Superman. It probably would. It probably would. Let me scroll through some of these and see what they're saying. I don't think you do, and I think whatever argument I don't know where this has come from. Faith, it ends here saying if you can't represent as America's hero to the world and can't save the world saying he follows the American way, then he isn't Superman. He's a phony made by fakes. And I do believe that's what's going on in comics today. You have a lot of people who do not understand who he is, do not understand the American way, are totally actually against what they think the American way is. So they write it. That's been going on with Captain America now for what, 15 years? Captain America, when he got shot in the head at the death of Captain America, he died. He has never returned. He's been written by person after person after person who does not believe in America. Therefore, they can't write Captain America. Connor Cox here is saying that the American way is the whole deal. If it wasn't, the whole point of Superman Red Sun wouldn't have been made. Thank you. A lot of times, like even now with Superboy, right? The one where he just got canceled and all he is gay, which is okay if they actually told the story. I think it would have been better if they had let him age up normally and told the story through that. But we are seeing that he can't handle it. Every time they switch out a character, they give somebody else the moniker. Same thing with Batman. All it serves to do is prove that no one but Clark Kent can be Superman. No one but Bruce Wayne could be Batman. Nobody but Steve Rogers can be Captain America. That's what they do with these things. Oh, again, if Superman could move so quickly, Batman couldn't even see him. Thank you, Michael Hart. I do. Like I said, if Superman wanted to be Batman, Batman would be beaten. This guy named Four says, I'm in no way a supporter of America, but get offended at Superman's slogan about the American way tells me you don't know anything about his character. Thank you. And he doesn't even like America. The American way is for a better tomorrow. TF is you talking about, says 2K21 bulk individual. What's not modern about the American way? You think the American way is old school or something that should be left in old times? The fact you even have to ask what it means says a lot about why you don't get Superman. I think more people than not want truth, justice, in the American way when it comes to Superman. I don't think that was a very popular choice. I heard the choice was made because they didn't own the rights to it. It was part of the radio show more than it before it was part of the comics. That's where it showed up at first. So did flying, by the way. So I think that I think that maybe I heard anyway that DC lost the rights to it. I don't know. If Batman used pink kryptonite, though, Superman, I can't believe that there hadn't been an uproar about that. There's actually a kryptonite that turns him gay. That's about as offensive as his "I'll turn you black" machine that he had for Lois Lane. I used to own that comic. I sold it at the auction. Anyway, I've been ranting about 18 minutes now on this one. I guess we got to do it again at some point because somebody's going to talk about how Batman's all about beating the shit out of people and he's vengeance, which I think the movie even said that wasn't true. Batman is about compassion more than anything else. The whole reason why he's Batman is because he doesn't want to have happen to other people what happened to him, because he saw his parents gunned down and he was absolutely powerless to stop it. So what does he do? He goes and he makes himself powerful so he can stop it happening to other people. I don't know. Well, actually messed up a lot of stuff, I think. Twitter, social media, all this stuff. Well, actually people is what I call them. They mess up a lot of stuff. Well, actually, you know, if this happened, then this happened, then that means this happened. And sometimes it's fun to visit, but in all honesty, it's not a way to run pop culture, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, help out the channel by sharing this out, liking, make a comment in the video as it's posted. It'll only take you a few moments, and it will definitely help out the algorithm to push more videos as they come out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me as I ranted all about this. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good day.